Hey there. So today you and I are going to take a journey into comic books. We're going to talk about IDW, but more than that, we are going to be talking about a valuable lesson. We're going to talk about what transpires when you forget your consumers, when you make anti-consumer statements, when people that are in the upper echelon of management go out and take pot shots at existing people giving money. Before we get into these numbers, however, if you do like this kind of content, make sure you're subbed to this channel. If you enjoy these type of videos, make sure they get out there. Share this information with others. If you want to help create some type of viable alternative to what we're talking about, check out the links in the description. This is one of those, the case of the littlest umbrella. This is our foray into independent comics. It's also our message to gatekeepers out there. We can defy you. We can go out, we can have success, and well, when we go out and we have that and you don't, maybe you should remember who exactly was out there supporting you. More on that at the end of this video, but make sure you check that out. So, as I was saying today, fourth largest publisher of comic books. They had been around for a long time, and well, just like we've seen in anime, companies are starting to hurt. You know, in anime, we saw Rooster Teeth have to lay people off after 16 years. Well, this company, they are crashing and burning. When I talk about that too, I'm talking about their actual stock numbers. I mean, this is their report. This is 9 months into the year, and it is an absolute disaster. Now, I would encourage you to go check this stuff out too. It is located at IDW Media Holdings, so you can go in, you can look at it, and you can find other things in this. I'm just hitting some stuff with broad strokes. I'm not talking about everything in here. I mean, there's valuable information when it comes to stock handling, when it comes to all types of other stuff, how they've actually gone out and made money. But at the end of the day, when you look at the 9 months ended, now if you look at this, you'll notice brackets. Brackets indicate loss. Now we're talking about a reduction in money. We're talking about actual loss for the year. Now in 2018, it was rough. I mean, we looked at 9 months, we were looking down $7.174 million in loss. This year, yeah, it's gotten worse, you know, because a lot of the things that they've tried to depend on to hold them up, they haven't worked out. You're talking about a company that has entertainment, that has a publishing arm, and more, and well, looking at that money there, negative $9.323 million. You're talking about a company, too, with equity at $16 million. Yeah, it's getting messy. Now, there are other things in here where you can see the consolidated statements of comprehensive income. I mean, again, I would encourage people to go in to look at the way the stocks are divided out, how the cash flow actually sets up, because this stuff is actually important as well. You can see cash on hand, and you can also see spin. Now, spin is a very interesting tool. I mean, when you come to a company like this, because they try to tell you how they're going to turn it around. Now, interestingly enough, when they go in and they talk about spin, when they talk about, you know, loans and other things, they kind of leave that out. You know, they leave out how much money they owe on this or that, because when they've gone out and they've actually have future maturities for bank loans, well, you see the kind of money we're talking about here. We're talking about much more money than this company is worth. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going and you say you have a $16 million valuation, you have $30 million in debt that might come due, you tell me what your company's worth at the end of the day. Going through this, too. Now, I'm not going to go through every portion of how this breaks down. For the purposes of what I'm talking about, I discuss IDWP, or IDW Publishing. They have a spin section, but after the spin section, once we roll down through here, you actually get a breakdown of how each section performs. I think that is the most important thing here, because unlike other companies, you can see where they succeed or where they fail. So looking at this, I mean, if you look at the 9 months ended here, again, this is unaudited, but you're coming up with their own reports. 2018, you notice revenue here, you notice direct cost of revenue, that means printing costs, artist costs, and on. You see the selling in general, and you see that here they had negative negative $2.532 million at the end of the day. 2019, you notice a decrease in revenue. If you go and you look at this, you have an increase in selling, general, and administrative costs, and we're looking at a negative $4.335 million. This is a change of negative $1.8 million, or a change of negative 71.2%. I mean, imagine running a company like this. Now, the way this is represented, we have 3 months ended and we have 9 months ended. 3 months alone is actually very telling, so we'll look at that first just to say what's going on in 3 months. I personally think that when you look at a 3-month segment, it doesn't give you enough of an overview. I mean, quite a few things happen there, but at the end of the day, 9 months or say a year, you can say, hey, compared to last year, this happened. But the reality is that year to year, that's how people judge your performance. That's how they judge your stock reports. Still, looking at the 3 months alone, IDW publishing revenue decreased by $254,000 in the 3 months ended July 31st compared to the 3 months ended July 31st, 2018. So we're talking 19 to 18. Publishing revenue increased by $269K, largely driven by book market and specialty sales, both of which showed a strong launch of They Called Us Enemy in late July. Gains in these markets were offset by an increased allowance for returns and low direct market sales compared to the same period in 2018. Revenue related to Clover Press are included above and represented as an additional $29K. Digital publishing decreased $24,000, largely related to specialty offerings in 2018 compared to 2019. Licensing and royalty revenue decreased by $309K, related to one-time projects in 2018. IDW publishing games revenue decreased $139K due to timing of new releases and so on. You can see that. Now, when we're talking 9 months, these are the big numbers. So IDW publishing revenue decreased by $1.786 million in 9 months ended July 31st, 2019, compared to the 9 months ended July 31st, 2018. The components of this decrease included a decrease in publishing revenue of $621,000, principally due to declines across all markets, offset by a decrease in book market returns, as well as the timing of significant major brand title releases. Now, something in there, you notice they're saying, hey, this market, it's diminishing, period. And that has been their call to arms forever. I would say if you have a diminishing market again and again, maybe you should ask why. They have too. They spent a year plus pointing their finger at Marvel. Interestingly enough, they no longer do that. They no longer go after those leaders in that because, well, I don't know. Maybe they do business with them now. You know, when you're releasing books that have their imprint on it, maybe you stop taking shots. But still, the way that they say that, it's very interesting too. Continuing here, IDW publishing games revenue decreased by $679,000 due to the timing of major new releases. So you see the games revenue actually taking a hit too. That was something that they depended on quite a bit. Major games releases scheduled for late fiscal year 2019 experienced increased delays and have been rescheduled for release in fiscal year 2020. IDW publishing experienced a decrease in licensing and royalty revenue of $483,000, largely due to one-time projects 2018, decrease in digital publishing of $49K, offset by an increase in creative services revenue of $34,000 related to custom projects. Revenue related to Clover Press are included above and represent an additional $29K, and other net revenue changes of negative $17,000. So when you go through that, you know that vaunted digital number that we never want to hear about because, hey, you guys are ignoring how much money we make in digital. Yeah, they don't. When you're looking at this too, remember this company last year, they lost a whopping $36 million out of a $50 million valuated company. They had the decline of that. They saw them go from $50 million to around $16 million. So, I mean, that's what kind of company you're looking at after so much success too. Now, this should bother artists out there, those people that want to snipe at consumers and on, this is the reality of what you're looking at. Direct cost of revenue. Direct cost of revenue consists primarily of printing expenses, royalty, and the cost of artists and writers. Now, if you look at these costs here, they go to 3 and 9 months. For these purposes, I'm only going to focus on the 9 months. They've decreased that by $926,000. Now, how much of that do you think is money that would have gone to artists, that would have gone to writers? I mean, when you're going out there and you're espousing these ideological principles, good for you until you can't fill your refrigerator, until you can't keep the lights on, or until you have to go get a different job. And that's wrong. I think that you should be able to wake up, you should be able to go out, do something you enjoy. But, I mean, when you're talking about management that believes in a certain principle out there, that principle is putting certain pesky consumers in their place, yeah, it doesn't get better. Now, we have the IDW gross margins here, so they talk about where the increase or decrease is for the year, so you can look at those. And then we get into selling, general, administrative. Now, what's interesting about this stuff is you see decreases that, again, hit people because you're talking about salaries and benefits decreases. If you decrease $256,000 in salaries and benefits, that is a direct human cost. Now, again, there are other things in this. You know, you can look at why this company is having problems like they are. You know, they go and they depend on things like entertainment. Well, their entertainment arm, it is having some major malfunctions. I mean, they would offset or try to many years past. But here, I mean, look at the differences now. They went from $401K, having losses here, to $2,737,000 in that. So you're talking about a change of 582.5%. When you have those, you have all of these other things. What we're seeing here is a perfect storm that may indeed wipe a company right off the board. And this, like I said, they have every arm failing. And when every arm of something fails, what do? I can say that what you don't do is go out and cost yourself consumers. But then again, what do I know? I mean, I was just one of those pesky consumers that looked at the message sent out there and said, nah, all of that stuff that I bought, well, I know where to draw the line. Even if I come back and pick up, say, a lock and key release here or there, it won't ever be like it was before. So, companies, they should take heed in that. They should remember exactly what transpired. If you like this kind of content, again, make sure you check out links like this. This is a foray into independent comics, and it's also a message we're trying to send loudly. We can defy gatekeeping. We can go out, we can do our own thing, and there are consumers out there that are more than happy to still support comics. I mean, when they talk about the decline in revenue, the decline in market out there, I mean, look at what we've been able to do. We've attracted with YouTube, Twitter, just going out and quote-unquote guerrilla marketing, we've picked up 2,000 plus backers, we've picked up 6 figures, and we're still going. We're in demand right now, so pick that up before it goes away. This has 3 stories attached to it in a main book, plus there's a secondary book that is out there as well. It talks about a lot of the madness that's gone on in comic books, and even if you didn't follow that, you should be able to understand everything that goes on and enjoy it. So anyway, leave me your comments on what transpired here, pro or con. Let me know about what you think about the company. Will they fail? Will they ever get it right? Will other companies learn from this? Ending, I want to say, while these companies, they forgot who put them there and who could take that away. Don't want to be like that. So I want to end every video by saying thank you. Sincerely, I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you checking this stuff out. Send out this message. It's a powerful one when you're walking away. Remember, it's always good to have something to walk toward. Anyway, thank you.